computer. Okay. Let me just change this view. Oh, I gotta share my screen.
Before very moved though, it was actually going in the correct. It was.
I think, Alan, I think maybe you're sharing your screen or something's going on here.
Should I
Yeah,
come
switch it over
out
to
back
me.
in or?
Let's see. You know what? I'll change it to multiple can share simultaneously. Maybe that'll get rid of it. Nah.
You can tell me how to get rid of it, I'll do it.
Yeah, I just changed something here. I think that'll take care of it.
Thanks.
This is new. I don't even know what the hell that is, but I'll allow it. Okay. All right. You guys can see the screen okay?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna put you on down over here. Let's get Alan's stuff up first. Okay.
All right, so as you can see, this is a big pelican. So it's there's a really nice water habitat for birds pretty close by here, and you usually find quite a few pelicans amongst hundreds of other birds. So it's a pretty good place. Anyway, this guy got my eye, and talking about eyes, his eyes as blue as the water behind him. So
Yeah. And this is some kind of growth on its beak?
I think it's something to do with their mating
Yeah.
time. I don't know if I don't think that's there all the time, but
Yeah. That's when they get extra
Yeah,
they grow horns, huh?
I think it's that they're mature and ready for mating is what it's all about.
is that
The
John?
ones we got around here, a lot of them got that too this time of the year.
Yeah.
Really. It's a
Interesting.
signal.
And that's a white pelican. You get mostly
The
white?
white, I think it's called a white American pelican.
Yeah.
Pelican, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or American white pelican, one or the other.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, nice job. I like the way you've offset them off the background with your depth of field.
This one's mine.
Yeah.
That was pretty well there. I don't think I changed that. I think that was I think it was just on the lens. I can't remember, to be honest. I may have changed it a little bit, but
Yeah.
What lens did you use,
it's
Alan?
a 150 to 600 millimeter lens.
So you're about probably 600.
Oh, definitely at 600, Jim. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, good job.
Thank you.
Maybe you might want to consider just softening this up a little bit.
So the grass part? Okay.
Just a little bit. And or darkening it up. Yeah.
All right.
Keep your eye on him.
I really loved the eye on him. I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yep.
Nice.
So
I like the hair too, the wisps, the feathers, almost like a punk hair.
That's
this
awesome, Alan.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
This next one is well started out as a regular sized image in color, and then I brought it down to a 1:1 ratio, and I liked it in black and white. It was really nice
Yeah.
because the reflection, not this reflection, but the reflection of the banisters and the the steps and stuff were a mirror image on the flat cam water. But I got into the blurring part of it, and I blurred it out, and I liked it. And then I thought we should add something else to it. So this figure is an AI generated figure, and I just put in the words "woman with a red dress," and
Mhm.
that's what came up. So I had to resize it a little bit to make it the right size for the composition, and then I had to also put the reflection in, and it
Good
was
job.
it was pretty bright and it was very eye-catching. But then I took it into topaz and I toned it down with a Monet filter, and
Mhm.
that's see there. So there's quite a few steps in this.
Yeah, nice.
Well, it paid off. That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. And I
Yeah.
added a little bit of shadow there just to kind of try and set it down.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's way cool.
Yeah.
Way cool.
Oh, thank you.
Very cool. Nice.
Yeah. I think is the shadow is the reflection correct, Sandy? What I did was I took the image and I flipped it vertically, and this is what was left in the water.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
I think it's right.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Okay.
Well, it's really got a lot of visual impact. The whole picture's great. That's a winner, Alan.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to come to Arizona and share it with everybody.
Yeah. Not right now. It's about to
Ah,
Alan, was she one of the models at the library
No,
or?
this was an AI model. Yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah.
yeah,
AI model. Wow.
Oh,
This is
But
virtual.
so you just took the landscape then?
I took a full landscape and like I said, squared it down to this format, this 1 by 1 format.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I blurred it at the bottom, and then I added the model, and then I put it into topaz and uh, kind of just toned it down a little bit with the Monet filter. And that Monet filter actually changed the grass quite considerably.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, I had a lot of texture up in here.
Do you pay for AI or is it just
It's part of the plan I'm with Adobe. So I think it's
Oh,
I think it's $120 a year
uh,
that you pay for it. But I know it's a lot of money, but it's really worth every penny.
Yeah, it's $10 a month, so you can't complain
Wow.
about
Not a wood duck.
Yeah.
Wow.
that. You guys
So
look at that. Someone's at my door. I'll be right back.
I'll just wait for somebody.
Oh.
We got wood ducks all over Ohio out here, and I've yet to get a picture of one.
Oh, you know what? They're not all that there's a stretch of water here where there's a sanctuary, bird sanctuary, and you always find them there.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you don't find them anywhere. And this particular one was found in an unusual area, so just pretty happy with it. What I like
There's wood duck houses and stuff, but they really spook easy. I mean, they just anybody comes around, they're gone. They just don't hang around.
this guy is pretty close on, but the what I really liked about this was you can actually see its feet and the reflection there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Right.
Is that something in the water or your finger or
That's a branch. Yeah.
a branch, something that got in the way? You can probably get rid of that if you
Yes, I
decide
should
you
have.
want to with AI. Just curious, they have this AI content erase now that I've been using beta. I assume it's in the regular too, but I don't know. I've pretty much been sticking with the beta.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you just
But this particular these wood ducks have got spectacular coloring on them. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so in the you have generative fill, and now you have this remove here. So if
remove. Yeah. Okay.
if you hit remove, seems to do a better job when you're just trying to clone something out or get rid of it rather than
Okay.
actually replacing it. Let's have a look. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How about that?
Yeah.
that's great.
How about that?
It should take 20 minutes worth of work to do something like that.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
What's that tool called, Sandy?
It's generative fill, but you can once you highlight an area, like let's say we'll highlight that. Okay, it comes up. You have a choice of generative fill or remove, which
Oh,
is
it
kind of
gives
like the
you a
remove
choice up
brush.
there.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know.
they
Okay.
work a little differently.
Yeah.
And,
It's
Let's
amazing.
go back and see what the difference is here. All right, so let's
Yeah.
try generative fill and see what that does. Now, it gives you three options, but let's see if they're as good as the other one.
Hmm.
It takes a little longer. Yeah, it works pretty well too. Actually,
Yeah.
might have done a better job.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so you got this option, or this option, which I kind of like the middle one. I think rather than all the little ones going off, I think this looks a little more realistic. Yeah, so either way, in this particular instance, works fine.
Yeah, I missed that. Obviously, I missed that.
All right.
Good.
Hmm.
Okay, so it was so it's the Milky Way season, right? So this is a place fairly close to us. Maybe it's about 30-minute drive from where I live. And the area are there, these are huge boulders in the middle of the prairie kind of thing. So they were brought down by the last ice age. They're massive, like there's probably about 4 or 5 times the size of a house. So they're huge. And they just add a nice foreground to this
Mhm.
the Milky Way there. So
Where is it, Alan?
it's nearby. It's in a town called Okotoks, and they are referred to as erratic rocks. So
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like the composition. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Now I have another composition. It's exactly the same shot, only the foreground's different. And I did that just to get you guys. Which one do you prefer there? Do you? Is
This
that,
second one is much colder.
yeah.
Cold like ice.
I
Yeah,
think the
cool. And
first
you have some stark things going on. I kind of like it, although I
Uh,
would see this little shape I think you lost that shape. It kind of flattened out here.
Right.
So maybe darken this down a little bit to achieve that shape. You could just darken this
Oh,
down.
I see. Right.
Yeah.
Wait, Sandy, which one do you like? The darker one?
No, I like this one.
You like that one?
Yeah. There's also something going on here that isn't here as much. I kind of like it better without that being so dark there. But I would take this and just, mask it off and darken it slightly.
That dark thing there that you pointed to, that's called the dark horse. That's a
Really?
that's a prominent feature of the Milky Way.
Really interesting.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
because there's some little galaxy thing going around the head there.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
No, Alan, I like this one, the other one that you showed.
the
Right,
first one,
this one. And
Mhm.
because I like the kind of the soft colors and also the grass that's there. It
Mhm.
just sort of brings more to life.
they're identical foreground shots. This is made up of two images. So there's a
Oh.
foreground one, and then there's the shot of the Milky Way. So I like this one because it's more natural. It's a
Yeah, I do too.
more
Yeah.
realistic color. However, I like the blue one as well.
Well, you could
Okay.
cool this one off a little bit. I mean, that's another option. Just go back to work here and make it a little bigger so it's easy to see. And let's go to camera raw. And you had emailed me a while back. A lot of times, like if there's difficulty, I'll select the sky as well and then invert it to get the
Yes.
background. It works pretty well. Now that they have the landscape stuff, though, you have a few more options. But
I tried that, but it's picking up about 3 or 4 different
yeah,
pieces.
but see, if you pick the sky, that's pretty straightforward. It's bleeding a little bit in here, but if that affects anything, we'll fix it. And then you just take it rather than duplicating and inverting it, we just invert it. Okay, and now you got the rocks.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right. So then if you take the rocks, Uh, if you wanted to, give a little more contrast, make them a little brighter, um, cool them off a little bit, you can do all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does it.
Yeah, maybe something like that might
Oh,
work.
that's
Yeah.
nice
That's
right
actually
there.
that's a combination between the two, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a nice
Yeah.
stop right there.
Maybe something
Yeah.
like that would work.
Yeah.
Because then you're not competing with this so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
you saw what I did. That's pretty simple. Once you get it masked. So, but yeah, the trick is that when you got something a little difficult like this, it's easy to find the sky. So you have them select the sky and just invert it. And
Yeah.
because let's just out of curiosity, let's turn this off and let's see if we select subject, see what it thinks subject is. See, it can't even find it. So yeah, so in this case, you'd have to do the sky. Let's see what landscape does.
AI isn't that smart.
Nah, sometimes.
Not that smart.
Yeah, where's landscape? There it is. Okay, so let's see here.
Yes, it's
There's
picking up
mountains.
about
Okay,
three.
so in landscape, it would find it. There's vegetation.
Oh yeah.
There's natural ground, whatever they think that is. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. That's what I was getting. I was picking up
Yeah,
these.
so you can kind of do this one for foreground, and then erase this part and just have it work. This so basically you could do this, the grass, and the whole background in three separate ones if you wanted to. Then there's the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
yeah. So you could select the mountains for an overall, do the vegetation separate. And if I did the vegetation, I'd probably erase this little part right here, unless it enhances it. Sometimes I try it first, and if I like it, it's fine. If not, I'll just erase that part of the mask so it doesn't do anything to the rest of the image. And then again, this ground one, I would just keep this part and get rid of everything else.
Yeah.
And just get rid of all that stuff. So then you got three areas you can work on, individually. So yeah, in this case, that would work really well. All right.
Good, thank you.
Yeah. Cancel. Yeah, cancel. All right. Close that. Edit. There you have it. Okay. Also, Ellen, if you got two variations of something, you can count that as one image if you want, and submit another one if you got one. I don't mind that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. In the future, if you need feedback on one and you still want to do four more, that's okay.
All right, thank you.
Sure. Okay, Dave.
Okay, folks. So I wanted to step back for a minute from the regular pictures we've been looking at that I do and pick up a skill that I've seen here, Sandy, in your sessions, and namely the taking an object and putting it onto a complete black background. So I did that here, beautiful feather shell, and I removed the background and made it a solid black background.
Mhm.
And then Jim, a few sessions back, you mentioned maybe choose a color for the border. I'm putting a 5% border, and I took an eyedropper and picked out some of the ochre color on the shell and put it into the border. You can see the border is a little bit colored instead of white. So I
yeah,
just wanted to pick up that skill and a lot of you guys have been doing this the first time I tried it.
Very good.
yeah, very good.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
And Jim, on your suggestion, is Jim here? Yeah. The color, I think, works because we're viewing these always on a black background on the computer. So it kind of stands out to have that border, that colored border.
What do you think of maybe thinning that border down a little bit?
Say what?
Maybe thinning that border down
I
just
could, yeah. It's a 5%. Should I do like 3%?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
three or
no
four.
problem.
Yeah, I think that might.
It's a little too big.
Yeah, I think it's a little
Sure.
prominent. The other thing, I don't know if you have the ability to get a little more detail in the highlights. I don't know if you have that ability to adjust highlights and shadows.
You know what? I pressed the sharpen button
Yeah.
and it just went off wrong.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I know what you mean
might have
you
done a
mean to
little
sharpen it, right, Sandy?
No, no. The highlights you could probably well let's take a look at it. You could
What?
probably get a little more detail in the highlights.
Uh-huh.
That's the thing I'm thinking. So yeah, let's just make it bigger. So
This looks like a fish.
Doesn't it? Like a, yeah,
it does.
fish skeleton.
Yeah, really.
That's what I thought it was at first.
Really? Yeah.
So
What,
do you have
what is
the do you have the ability to use any of these kinds of controls where you have exposure, contrast, highlight, shadows?
Yeah, I do have highlights,
All right.
exposure.
So when
Yes.
so if you see highlights,
Uh-huh.
just bring that down a little bit. That's going to give you a little more detail.
Oh,
And now
wait, so you reduced the highlights, Sandy?
reduce the highlights
Reduce.
and then increase the white to compensate to make it a little brighter.
Yeah, that's good.
And you see the difference between
Yeah.
and
You can see more in
yeah,
the shell.
it's subtle, but you can see the difference
Well,
mainly
it's got more of a
in this
shape.
area. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good, Sandy.
Yeah. And
So
maybe
reduce the highlight.
yeah, bring that. You don't have to bring them all the way down. I mean, that's image dependent, but start at the middle and start pulling them down until you see more detail.
Oh,
Sometimes I'll go too far, and then come back because I like to see what's available there.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
that helped.
yeah. And
So
later,
the image was overexposed.
yeah, a little bit, and then
Okay.
later when we get you into or the way the camera interpreted it when it made the JPEG, made it a little overexposed, whatever the
Sure.
case is. So later on, when you get into a new camera, you can start shooting raw, and then you'll have even more latitude to pull that stuff down. But
Yeah.
for now, you can see the difference.
Yes.
The other thing is maybe you might want to add a little more contrast. Let's see. See, but if you start adding the contrast, it's going to blow out the highlights again. See how they go away?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
What about texture?
Yeah, texture is going to make it sharper, but he might not have that ability. Yeah, I know you have sharpen, but do you have texture, clarity, or dehaze?
I might have texture.
Yeah, if you do have texture, then
Let's,
you certainly can start making it sharper.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh, there's just so much more coming up.
yeah.
That's neat.
So that's more helpful. So
More color.
basically, that's where you were.
Oh yeah, Sandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a
just
big difference.
to keep in mind if you're going this route to kind of tickle it in.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mhm.
Good suggestion. It really improved it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, nice.
Okay, Sandy. So here's another one of those type of things. This was a beautiful ceramic object that was in the window of the Monterey Aquarium. So I had to shoot this through glass
Mhm.
window. And I just thought it was so cool, the sea form and the seaweed shapes. And so I tried here, take out the background and introduce an all black background. I just wanted to keep working on that skill.
Mhm. Yeah.
And now what I just learned from the shell, Sandy, I would imagine reducing the highlights would help here.
Maybe a little bit. And in this case, you might want to open up the shadows too.
Uh-huh.
The other thing is, I don't know if this is part of the ceramic or if this is part of the background here.
No, yeah.
So
It doesn't.
and here, yeah.
AI is not perfect. It did
Yeah,
not take
yeah,
it out.
yeah.
Yeah, Sandy, that is part of the background. And
Yeah.
you can see
So you
some other
can't just do it
spots.
with a brush and a mask. Yeah.
I don't have the masking brush or
Okay.
any
Yeah.
generative fill or any.
Well, they did pretty good.
Yeah.
So in this case, you may want to mess with the highlights too. What one particular adjustment isn't always good for everything, but
Right.
so in this case, I would probably you study the image and see what it's lacking. It definitely lacking some detail in these shadows. Okay,
Uh-huh.
you can see right here. This is lit up, saying that that's being clipped. Well, it's picking the background, and there's no detail there, so who cares? But sometimes when this occurs, it could be your shadows aren't too dark, and they're going to plug up if you print them.
Right.
So let's just take a look at shadows here and just open it up just ever so slightly. Okay. And let's see what happens if we take the highlights down a bit. Yep. See, you're going to get
Yeah.
way more detail.
A lot more form.
Yeah. Now, if this is a little too dark for your taste, you can compensate by bringing some white back in. Something like that.
Oh, you can see all the cracks and the
Yeah, I love those
glaze.
cracks in the glaze. That's nice.
That's
Yeah, I
neat.
think that's going to be a little better deal for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we get some time practice on that.
Yeah. Wonderful tool. Wow. Amazing. Oh, that's great.
All right. Yeah, there's a lot you can pull out that you did not always have the ability to do in film easily.
Sure.
Okay. Oops.
Okay, folks.
No, this is this week. Okay. Sorry, I had some from the last time I didn't delete. I wasn't sure if this was one I didn't see last week or if it's a new one.
Oh, yeah. No, this is today's batch.
Okay, good, good.
Okay, folks. Here is a woman intensely involved in her texting session. And you can see some clues. She's got her foot wrapped around the other foot, and she's very involved. I imagine she's looking for a positive result of whatever this texting conversation is. But I think it's a good photograph, and I wanted to share it with you because I love all the geometry in it and the layering of depth going back from the front, her as the subject, leading back. There's a painting, and then farther back, a car. And she was observed in Laguna Beach. Laguna Beach has a lot of outdoor seating areas, dining, al fresco dining, and cocktail decks where you can look out over the beach and the deep blue sea. So she's outdoors. It's a beautiful day, and I just captured her texting. I
Yeah.
like the composition, the color. I ran it slightly in watercolor just to enrich the artistic effects.
Mhm. Again, something real subtle is to mask this chair so you can separate her from
Yeah,
it. So she's
yeah,
not
good
just a big
call.
blob there.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's another thing you could work on pretty easily. Wake up. Am I hitting it? No, I guess I keep missing it. Sorry. There we go. All right, let's close this one. Yeah, I mean, that's a real easy to do in Photoshop or Camera Raw or Lightroom, but I don't know about the programs you're using, if it's feasible or not, but I'll show it to you. It's pretty simple. Okay, so over here we have what we call local filters, and we just get a brush, okay? And I would just turn auto mask on to start and just paint this. Let's make sure it's 100%. And I'm going to overdo it into her a little bit to kind of see where she ends. And then I'm just going to take the shadows up a lot. Okay, so now I see where she ends.
Yeah,
I
pulls
hold
that
down
up.
my Option key to make it erase. Well, let's see here. Is it going to erase? Yeah. And I'll
Yeah,
just fill her back
right,
in.
Sandy.
Okay. There you go.
Right, pulls that up.
Yeah, so that would be it. It looks like there's a little
That's
something
cool.
behind the chair
Yeah, there's a
there too. So
seat cushion or
yeah,
something there. Yeah,
you can't
adds
get
a line.
100%, but at least it gives you the eyes something to bring down so it doesn't look like
Sure,
she's just hunched over.
that's cool.
Yeah. So that's something I would do.
Mhm. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, folks, another seated woman, Laguna Beach. And this one's a little more mysterious because there's a shadow entering from the left from an unknown person. And then if you look towards the right, there's a man behind this wall here, and you can only see his arm. So it's a little more mysterious, yet colorful and beautiful, I think. The outer panels are a symmetrical flop of something I cropped out of some beach chairs and added in for color. And I ran the whole kit and caboodle in watercolor.
Mhm.
Oh, nice effect.
Yeah,
I'm liking it. And I like the mystery of her face too, because
yeah.
Yeah.
it's barely there.
The lack of details from the watercolor and the shadows, I think, adds to the mystery of this
Mhm.
image.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a keeper. I like
Oh,
that.
yeah, I like it. I like it,
Thank
Dave.
you. Okay, folks. One of my double portraits. This one I call Polynesian Portrait. And I had a close up of this woman's face, and I worked on it a lot, a lot, a lot. Tried to make it work as a single face, and I just was having trouble with some of her hair and various things. And I tried to take her. Anyways, I worked on it, took the hair out, and I wound up 2 panels. And then I decided, I was thinking, well, Gauguin would put a flower on this beautiful face. So I went and found some flowers that I captured in Laguna Beach and cut them out and made a PNG file and stretched and pulled, and voila, I come up with this Gauguin double portrait. I put all these flowers in here and there and ran it in various filters
Oh,
to
great.
Good
create
job. I
this.
like it.
Thanks, Don.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that.
And I'll just tell you, because just I'll reveal the problem was she had black hair that was shining these streaks and lines. And I couldn't remove it. I couldn't paint over it, remove it. So I flip-flopped her face, ran it in various filters, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to do art. I'm going to put flowers all over. You know,
Well, I
kind
love
of had that Gauguin tropical feeling to it.
I'm loving
So,
the shadows.
So all the flowers are put on an extra layer.
yes, Jim, what I did is I had a flower picture and I removed one flower that I liked and then flip, rotate, flip, rotate, flip. So the right and left panel is one PNG file that I moved back and forth across the picture plane. And then in the middle, it's the same PNG. It's 5 flowers, but I stretched and pulled and moved it into her face. I was trying to cover, like I said, this cobwebby, stringy hair.
This stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sandy, if I remove the background, I tried, and it got into her face and the neck.
Ah, okay.
So,
I
I
could
said,
have used shadows.
okay, well, let's cover it up with a flower. So
Yeah.
that's how I built out this panel. I'm pretty happy with it. She's beautiful. It was amazing that I got her picture. She was so far away. I just zoomed in and just zoomed into her face, and you can see the sun shining through her eyelashes and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's just an art piece. It's not perfect, guys.
And this cobweb of hair now looks like it
Yeah.
belongs to the flowers. So
Yeah, right. Like maybe it does.
yeah.
That's why I moved those flowers in
Yeah,
there,
well,
Sandy. It's kind of a cover up.
Yep, that works.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, Dave.
Thank you, guys.
Nice. Thank you.
Oh, now just one other thing, because on the first two, I was trying to learn that skill of the black background, and I wanted to move on. I don't know how to do when you select to leave one thing color and the rest is black and white. Alan, that was very effective in your red dress picture. And Paula, you have a lot of good pictures where you use that style, like your cactus flowers. And I want to learn how to make a black and white background with color flowers, for example. So that's my next move. I'm trying to pick up some skills I'm learning here.
Well, you got two choices. You can either do with a mask. Well, you use a mask in both cases. You either make one layer, you duplicate the image so you have two layers. One you make black and white, you leave the color underneath, and then you use the mask to pull the color areas you want through. The other would be to make a adjustment that makes everything black and white, and then just paint the mask where you don't want it to be, where you want it to be color. I can show you both. I don't know, again, I don't know your tool set, so let's do it here. All right. Well, actually, it might be easier in the other one. Let me go back here. Hello. Yeah, this one has more ability for color. Okay. So, all right. So the first one would be to just make an adjustment that's going to be black and white, or you can also just go to hue, saturation, and value. That's the other way to do it, and just take the saturation all the way down. Okay.
Oh,
And then in this mask area, you get yourself a brush. Okay. And I'm just going to use a big soft one here. And black will bring back what's behind it. See?
oh, that's neat.
So that area, see, if you look at the mask, you see the blacks in the area.
Yeah.
So anywhere it's black, that filter is not going to apply. So I don't know if your program can do that or not. You may want to talk to Mavis about it.
Yeah.
She might be a little more advanced. That's how you can do it. The other
I
way
see.
would be to take this
Selection.
and just duplicate it. Okay. There we go. And then take this one and just convert it to black and white. Let's see here. I can do it here. It would be in adjustments. Boy, I haven't done it so long. Anyway, I'll make it easy. I'm just going to take this and
Yeah.
only have it affect. I'm going to throw this mask out, and I'm going to have this so it only affects the top image. Now I can combine that. There we go. It's the same as turning it black and white. Now, if I add a filter to that layer, and I click on the filter itself and use a brush, it's the same thing with black. I can paint through what's underneath it. So if I turn this off, you can see what I'm just showing what's behind it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have the ability to do layers. So the first one I did is probably the easiest way for you to do that. Okay.
See. I'll have to explore the options.
Yeah, so if we go back to this, that might be the easiest way for you. Okay.
Yes. Thanks for
Yeah, if
showing me
you're
that.
confused, get a hold of me. Maybe we can do a little interactive if you need it, and you need to get Mavis on too.
Sure.
Yeah. Because I'm
Super.
not sure what the tools you have. Maybe you can share your screen and we can look and figure it out. Okay.
Super. Thank you.
Sure. All right. So just Don, you're next. Isn't it going to open? Oh, I guess we got a couple different ones here. Huh? All right. Let's look at this one first. Then we'll look at the rest.
That's just a rhododendron bloom that we had in our garden. I just went out, started shooting some flowers. We hadn't been out much, so I decided I better do something. So I went out in flower bed.
That's beautiful.
Don,
did you shine a flashlight into the center,
No,
or is it a
that's-
radial?
I done that in Lightroom, and then it's radial filter. I darken the outside and then lighten the inside, and then use radial filters to move them around where I wanted them to bring it out.
Nice. Beautifully delicate, and the water droplets, gorgeous.
Thank you.
So Don, something you might want to play with while you're doing that is adding a little white after you darken it, you know, to bring some of this stuff back a little bit, so it's not
Oh, okay,
quite so muddy.
okay.
You can try white, you can try, sometimes contrast. You know, you can play around with different sliders to see which one's going to give you the effect you want to give, maybe just a little more depth going on there, where you've got,
Okay,
a little more lights and darks and not so much mid-tone gray muddy stuff. And that might be a little helpful, especially like in
all right,
areas
I'll give that a try.
like this and this. Yeah. Yeah. I think that would really help your
Okay,
technique a bit. Right.
and this is just one of the rose bushes we got.
Nice rose, beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
that is
nice.
beautiful.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
I selected the background and darkened that, and then selected the flower and worked on that, sliders and
These
Nice.
little buds have a lot of really nice detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so close to this rose, we can smell the lovely perfume. It's gorgeous.
We used to have a whole garden of them, but we went away one summer and something happened to the irrigation and they all died. It was
yeah, they don't like irrigation if they don't like water on their leaves. You got to do
Oh.
drip lines.
yeah, yeah. And they're hard to keep here anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're beautiful and the smell's wonderful.
Mm,
And this is
Nice.
a petunia that was in the flower bed.
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Don, you did the black black background effect here.
Yeah, I selected the flower because it was pretty prominent, and then just inverted it, and it blackened out really nice.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Are you on a tripod?
No, I shot this with a Nikon 150, 70 to 150 that I got. I've been playing with that, see how that's doing. That's what I've been using.
Does a nice job. Got a
That's
decent
nice.
depth of field too. I
And then I put a radial filter in the center of it to
mhm.
bring out the texture and the
Yeah,
sharpness in the center there.
yeah. Nice.
Some water droplets over here. Nice. It's a good one.
Thank you.
Mm,
And this is just a blue heron out at the lake.
Yeah, he's cool.
Amazing the way that algae is just clinging to the log he's on. Wow.
It's amazing,
Only 1 foot.
Yeah.
it's
you got a
amazing
lot
how
of
many
texture.
herons just have one leg.
Yeah, they do all the time.
Yeah.
About the only time they got both of them down is in their fishing when they're looking to catch something.
It's
really.
funny when the Cooper Hawks come to bathe in our pond, they always stand on one leg when they're drying off. It's kind of weird. They'll switch legs, but usually it's just on one.
Yeah,
Kind of bizarre. You got so many really nice textures going on here,
Yeah.
these little feathers and then
It really is.
Yeah, it's
log,
really good.
it's foreground and it works its way back very nicely. Yeah.
And the
that's-
yellow eyes, super good.
Yeah.
thank you.
This would make a nice big print.
Yeah, it's a good one, Don.
Yeah. That's a keeper. Oh.
Oh,
What a
And this is a duck on our roof, believe it or not.
Exactly.
Wow.
Oh,
We
that's
come home and
nice.
I told my wife, said, look up there, there's a duck sitting on the roof. So
wow.
put the car out in the garage and I went in and got my camera and he just sat there. So I took a picture of him.
Oh, that's nice.
Sure it wasn't a decoy.
Yeah. No, that's a real thing. He quacked at me.
Quack.
He was gonna fly before I got he was sitting a little lower on the roof and he come up and then I just stood there and then he sat down. I guess he assumed I wasn't gonna be a problem for him.
Yeah.
He says, you got some lettuce?
And I replaced the sky on this. This was
Oh,
we had a really gray day that day. It was just
Uh,
the sky was just totally gray. So I brought sky in from Photoshop.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
That's
Yeah.
good.
There's some little settings you can tweak with. I can't remember what they're called, but it helps eliminate some of this aura effect you get when you're blending them together. And I'm not sure what they are, but I think it's in there. I know it's in Neo. It's a little easier than Photoshop when you're replacing skies. I don't know if you have Neo, but
Yeah, I do.
yeah, it might be easier in Neo than in Photoshop.
Okay.
Sky without that. It's got
I know there's a video, I haven't looked at it yet, that I got that's supposed to tell you how to take care of the auras.
Okay. Yeah, if it's a good one, send me the link. I'll pass it
Okay.
to everybody else. Yeah, that's great.
Hey, Don,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, did you get your book made?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
How'd it
did.
turn out?
I'm pretty happy with it. There's a couple
Great.
mistakes. My cover picture, I was messing around with that, and all the pictures I uh, posted them so they was closer to the edge rather than directly in the center, so that
Right,
the picture didn't get into the fold.
right.
And I did the same thing to the cover, the cover picture,
Oh,
and it's
Oh.
so
not
that's
centered.
out of whack. Right,
It's out of whack. So,
right.
well, there's a lesson learned. But
But
otherwise,
you
I'm pretty
moved the
happy with
main
it.
pictures out of the gutter closer to the edge.
Yeah,
Right, good. But then the cover picture's out of whack.
yeah. And I could have changed it, and
You didn't
I
know.
just didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to I put it so I could put the
Yeah.
title below the picture.
Yeah.
And then I looked at it, putting it on the picture, and I liked it on the picture better, and I just never adjusted it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Don, that happened to me the first one I printed at Blurb. The cover picture was out of whack.
Yeah.
So I adjusted it. Yeah. So don't feel bad about that. I think everyone makes that mistake.
But
yeah.
other than that, I'm pretty happy with it.
Good. I'm
Did you
glad
do
you
a
did it.
hardcover or
It was a hardcover.
hardcover, nice.
Yeah,
About
it was
100
an 8 by
pages?
10.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Congratulations. That's great.
Thank you.
When does it go on sale?
I think Blurb has an area where you can just
Yeah, you do. I
Yeah.
can send you a link, and you can buy it.
Yeah. You just
I don't
click a
think you'll like the
button.
price, but
Yeah. I got 2 books in the Blurb bookstore, folks. You just click a button and they'll sell it for you. And they do all the fulfillment. They print it
Yeah.
and send it to whoever wants it.
Sure. That's a great idea, being a printer, because you make the money printing and the author
Yeah.
makes money selling it. So yeah, great. Nice stuff. Keep it up, Don.
thank you.
All right, Jim Bowman.
Mm.
Okay, well, springtime here in Michigan. So I just thought I'd do a little, I guess it's sun flare.
Dancing trees.
Nice.
Yeah, that is pretty.
That's, the filter on that just is kind of a combination, but it's called wild ginger.
Okay.
It's very nice.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like this prismatic effect you're getting in the sky too.
What'd you say?
I like this prismatic coloration you're getting in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real nice.
Nice. Nice painting. Oh.
Yeah, so this is up north in UP, if you know where that is.
Uh-huh.
And just a waterfall that's, there's quite a bit of water up here right now. Everything is full and lots of water.
Yeah. Is this up toward Traverse City or elsewhere?
Yeah, above, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Jim, it looks like you endangered yourself stepping into the slippery rocks, huh?
Uh-huh. Well, not too much, but I definitely was close to the edge.
Yeah,
Mm.
good work. I love it. Oh,
That's a nice scene, yeah.
how
I like that.
picturesque
That's
is that?
nice.
So this is a little town called Manistee, and it's a topaz filter with I just take a dull picture of a lighthouse and then just kind of make it more living with a couple with their dog and a nice sunshine in the background.
Yeah, that's postcard perfect.
Yeah,
Nice pastel quality in the color range. Yeah, real nice.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's not
yeah,
happy.
yeah. This is a guy caught out my front window just before I left, but yeah, he wasn't too happy. I don't know what he was squawking at, but
Hmm.
and I just put a touch of an oil painting filter on it.
Mhm.
It was nice.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is up in Arizona, northern Arizona,
Mhm.
and got the water feature and at the background and or front foreground rather,
Mhm.
and just a cool looking picture.
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah, it's almost got a hint of being solarized. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but back in the day when you did black and whites in a dark room, if you flashed a little light on the paper, either just before you put it in the developer, or sometimes even
Yeah,
the developer, it would get this reaction, and especially in this area here, where you get that kind of solarizing look. That's very
yeah.
cool.
Well, it's actually when you look at it in color, it looks like raw meat.
Yeah, yeah. But I think these three, um, you've got a nice style going there. Oh,
Yeah.
go back. This one, and
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you definitely have a nice style and feel going for those.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I
Good.
like
Well,
that
thank
one.
you.
Yeah, keep it up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Really good.
let's see what Jim Murphy brought. Oh, why these aren't opening? That's weird. Let me just do open with preview. Way up. Oh, I see.
Oh, they're tiffs.
Yeah, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Yeah, they're probably big too. Let's see. Oh yeah, a couple of them are big. All right, here's what we're gonna do. It's brought in the topaz. Uh, so let's see. All right. Yeah, hang on. Let me figure out another way to do this. All right. The air W, I could probably bring in a camera and look at it there. Okay. I'll just do an auto on it, Jim.
I'll make sure to convert them to JPEGs next time then.
Yeah. Because if whatever you did to them didn't come with it. So
Okay.
did any kind of correction, it didn't come with the raw file. The tips will probably be all right. But here I
Yeah, this is uncorrected, so this isn't this isn't my
yeah, I
final
just hit
product.
auto and got something out of it because otherwise,
Yeah, oh well.
yeah. So nice.
It was way different than this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, anyway, so this last 2 weeks I've been shooting all videos. I've been doing a project on herons, building nests, babies in the nest, and all that. So I went back to just grab some pictures from 6 years ago.
Mhm.
And I think 4 of them are like aerial pictures. We don't see too many aerial pictures in class, so I thought I'd throw those in. But yeah, I I changed I had the sky a lot darker, and then I brought the yellow out in the mountains there, and some contrast in the mountains, and the detail in the cloud more.
Yeah.
But no, yeah,
Love those
anyway,
clouds.
yeah, it's a
Any clouds like
lenticular type cloud. Yeah, you get that's more what I had, and I had more yellow in the mountains, but that's okay.
All right. Yeah, we could see his landscape figures out in this one. Yeah, mountains. Okay. Sky. Okay. Create separate. All right. So let's go over the mountains. So you're gonna warm them up a little bit and
Yeah, I warmed them up. I had the blue yellow thing going on. Yeah.
yeah, there we go. Maybe a little greener, something like
Yeah,
that.
that looks nice.
So the the changes didn't come through. I wonder why.
What they weren't embedded in the file, they were probably in a sidecar. And
Oh,
the
okay.
sidecar file didn't get loaded with it. You probably would have to load that separately. All right, and then for the sky, I don't know, maybe give it a little more contrast.
Probably these photos don't look very good then.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll have to see. You know, maybe we'll take some saturation out of this a little bit. All right, maybe not so much.
Awesome clouds, eh? Nice.
Yeah, something like that. There we go. Yeah. So kind of that's what a raw file
That's
is.
pretty dull looking.
Not very
Dull
exciting.
looking.
Gotta work on it.
What happened?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that one's good.
Whoa. You guys still with me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's weird. Just
something crashed.
logged me out. All right, good. All right. I must have hit that lower right corner. I think it's an automatic log out thing. I probably hit it by accident. Okay. Yeah, when I went for here, let's just cancel that. Hide that. Okay, so the next one's a TIFF. That I think we can show okay. That should be fine.
Here we go. We'll see what that.
Ooh.
Now,
It's just another aerial shot. It's not too far from Green Valley. It's a kind of northwest-ish.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was just flying in, and there's a little light hitting the mountains there. So
Mhm.
I like it. Very nice.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Jim Bowman what he saw in the shadows.
Uh,
He's kind of our shadow expert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better not say.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, just as something to show, if you go here and you picked range and went to luminance and picked that area, okay, you could trim it down a little bit if you want. And this is how hard it tapers off. Hard or soft to taper it off. And then from there, you can take the blacks and you put them up. So see, it gets milky pretty quick there. It doesn't look like there's any detail in them. I mean, even with taking the exposure up, it's very little there. So I don't know if it's worth messing with much. Maybe we could try shadows. Yeah. Add some white. Nah, it's pretty gone. But I like the graphic look of it with the shadows. I don't think I'd mess with it, especially since it doesn't have any detail there to bring out to begin with. Okay, yeah, I like that one. It's nice.
That picture reminds me of Nazca line pictures. Jim, you know the Nazca lines?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's,
This is, of course, not an aerial photo. This is near Zion,
mhm.
and
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah, very nice.
Great leading lines, and then the sunbeams
Yeah.
contradict the leading lines. So it's very cool.
Mhm.
I liked it a lot better in black and white than color.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that was good.
And Jim, you did a lot more to these photos than we can see because the file trouble we're having, right?
Yeah. So this one is pretty similar to this is a 2019 also aerial photo, and it's was a super bloom. So the gold you see in there is just all flowers blooming, and
These are the poppies.
yes.
Very nice.
That's Green Valley, Jim?
Uh, Again, that'd be northwest of Green Valley. So if you kind of went due east from Marana a ways,
Uh-huh.
or
Yeah,
due west. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Due west.
right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where there's a belt in there. Were they
Yes.
poppies?
You know, this is 2019. I don't remember. I imagine they were. The color looks right for poppies.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
so.
That's awesome. Wow, look at that.
Just another aerial photo, which I colorized quite a bit.
It's nice color.
I don't remember exactly where this was, but somewhere but between Green Valley and Phoenix to the west.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So how high
Very
were you
nice.
there?
What's that?
What was your altitude there?
Oh, I would just have to guess, Alan, probably 5,000, probably five to eight in that range. I usually would fly at 8,500 because I had plenty of oxygen without using a tank.
Nice color and then
Yeah,
Well-
nice color.
Again, kind of a blue yellow complementary color thing going on.
Very good.
I can see the masking's not very good on that one little range in the background back there. It's kind of iffy, but
Yeah, or it might be from me punching up the clarity a bit. Hard to say. Okay. Thanks.
Hmm,
Hey,
that's nice.
That's nice.
I'm back on my flower kick. This was
Yeah.
taken at the Huntington San Marino. And I just played with the textures and I did a little bit of cropping.
That's nice.
Mhm.
That's just perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Paula, you put a vignette, I'm thinking a little bit.
A little bit of a vignette, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, I got a shot just like that, but only I got gnats all over it. didn't think it was pretty.
No, and this was a rose that was taken up at the Huntington as well. It's a beginning to go by, but it was still. I had a little bit more trouble getting the foreground leaves and stuff to work out. I'm not real happy with it totally.
Is it the softness and the milkiness of them, or?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the area in the front.
Yeah, so this, all these here. Yeah. I suppose you could tone them down and see how that worked.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's see what we can do with this. All right. I'm gonna try a brush, but usually it goes by color, so may just be painting. So hit logo, hit brush. Yeah, you know what? Let's go back and see if landscape picks them apart. I don't
there
know.
you go. Let's see what it does.
Yeah. Well, it masks out the other stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it thinks that's water. Okay. Um, Interesting. Well, yeah, let's just keep that in our back pocket just for the heck of it. Let's go back to brush. Is that 100%? Yeah, I guess it is. I'm not going to be too perfect here, but
yeah, that's fine.
yeah, we'll just get an idea what's going on here and see. Let's turn off auto mask so we can fill in the, yeah, went a little too far there. Might just. Pick the main offenders here and then. All right, let's try this first and if we can get something going here. Yeah, maybe take them down a little bit.
Mhm.
Get a little more highlight going. I don't think I go much darker than that.
No,
Okay. And don't know if you can sharpen them up a little bit. Well, we can try a little texture. Yeah, that helps. Let's see, clarity. Clarity's going to lighten them again, so I think we'll leave that alone. We're gonna. Sometimes when you have a lot of glare, dehaze works too. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm thinking maybe we just take a hair of saturation down. Not much. The other thing is it seems to be getting a little blue, so maybe we'll add a little yellow to it and bring a little green back. That could work. You know,
yeah,
somebody.
I'll play some more with it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
then you can add it as you want. You don't have to do it all at 100% either. You can kind of work your way around and see how that goes.
Yep,
Get those areas.
Yeah, there you go.
These really light areas you may want to mask separately and really knock those down more.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
sure. Turn this thing on. It's going to be a distraction. All right.
All right, this is actually a tree stump that was left, and I thought it looked sort of like a squirrel. I did change the background. I used a bit of an AI background, and then I played with it and got some of the highlights and stuff around the edge of the tree stump.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So is that like cut into a, scored with a chainsaw or something? They were trying to get it
It
out.
must have been because
Yeah.
they were there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Right, it was a
Wow.
little too much of a challenge, and they said the heck with it.
Yeah.
I like it though.
Yeah, makes a nice abstraction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, that way or that way, maybe. I don't
Yeah. I kept twirling it and I couldn't make up my mind.
know. You kind of like it up or down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And these were blooming on an early morning walk. And I just liked the color of the two stalks and so forth. And I darkened the background, blurred it out, and just brought up the textures and the flowers.
I wonder if darkening this cactus part a little bit might separate a little more too.
Oh, you're right, it might.
Yeah. Let's take a quick look at that. Mm. Again, we'll just brush it in. I'm going to turn on the mask for the edges.
Hmm.
All right, then I'm going to turn it off and fill in the rest. So if you leave it on, it's going to only pick what you're painting on. It's to be kind of a pain. So if you turn it off just to do your general fill, that helps. Make it brush a little bigger. There we go. All right. So we can maybe darken that down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
That's cool. Yeah.
pushes it farther back down.
Yep. That's nice.
A little
I'll
bit,
work
yeah.
on that.
That's a nice picture, Paula.
Thank you.
Alrighty. And last but not least, ooh, that's
Wow,
that's
look at
nice.
this.
And this was another rose at the Huntington.
Beautiful rose.
Thank you.
These
yeah,
flowers are great, Paula.
yeah, that's a
Thank you.
Are you using a macro lens?
No, I'm standing back and using a zoom.
Really?
nice.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
I would definitely make a print of that or a card or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess we got everybody. All right. Um, I'm just gonna go to Lightroom and show you from there. Probably the easiest way. In case we got any questions or want to do anything. So kind of a mix and match of some stuff.
Oh,
Utah.
wow, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
there was, I think I showed some from this lot before. It's a little town in the Carbon County area south of Salt Lake, and this particular lot had about 40 of these rusted vehicles. It was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, that's a treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, what is it that we all love these rusty cars? There's something there, you know?
Texture. Yeah, it's
It
a
reminds
texture.
us of our youth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the chrome, always kind of goes blue, so you have that warm and cool thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
Orange and
Yep.
blue. Yeah.
yeah, just orange and yeah. I'd probably live in a Corten steel rusted house if I
Well, I was thinking about
Yeah.
yeah,
how it compares to my body.
right. Well, Jim, if you stay in Arizona, you can get slow cremation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
To spend the summer
Oh,
here.
It's
I
cool.
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, think
it.
this is an old knucklehead. I'm not a Harley aficionado, so I don't know, but
Yeah, looks like it.
I think when they were talking about the different ones, they mentioned that this was a knucklehead.
Yeah.
So anyway, I like the big logo on it.
Mm.
Yeah, and the different colors I was getting from around the room in the chrome.
A fantastic museum that is just amazing to go through.
Mm.
Oh, is this the
Where
new?
where is the museum?
Oh gosh, it's I believe it's in oh gosh, I have to think for a minute. It's in Wisconsin.
Oh, the Harley Davidson, yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
the museum is amazing.
yeah.
I
I've not been
imagine.
up
They got
there.
them all the way back from when they were like bicycles
Right,
and
Oh,
right.
jeez.
Yeah. They had an exhibit in Chicago uh, for motorcycles, and they had all the early stuff, from like just bicycles that had the little motors mounted to the motorbikes to the motorcycles, and yeah, it was really amazing. And the white latex tires, yeah, it was pretty cool.
I have a question on that.
Sure.
Could you do, is it possible to do a multi-focus where you in other words, to get all the area completely in focus?
Yeah, probably could. I was just shooting this with my phone, but yeah, I would just do a stack where I'd start my first focus up here and then go all the way back to here. Yeah, you could do that. And then just stack them together in Photoshop. Definitely.
Can you do it on layers?
Yeah, there's a procedure where you take the images, you load them all into Photoshop front to back, and then you would align them and then you would blend them using auto blend.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and it would work. Yeah, just uh, go into YouTube and do focus stacking.
Focus stacking.
Yeah, or editing focus stacking or post-production focus stacking. You'll see exactly how they do it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Yeah. This was just kind of side of the road art, somewhere along one of the east-west highways going between Parker and Lake Havasu up in the north.
Yeah.
Thought it was kind of fun. It was just, nice afternoon light. And
Well,
this guy, character,
Tweety bird.
Canyon
Tweety
Lands. He
bird.
was kind of a curmudgeon. He was there with his kids and grandkids, everybody else. And every time they go to pose, he'd make weird faces and stuff, or put, rabbit ears on the back of their heads. And I finally said, "All right, give me a real photograph." So that's how he posed. Yeah, as we were going into the Needles part of the Canyonlands, they were driving cattle back.
Oh, I like that. That is great.
That is
excellent,
nice.
Yeah.
excellent image.
There was
I
a
like
little
that one
dust.
too.
Yep.
There was a little dust in the air, and I kind
Mm.
of made it a little more pastel-y too. I thought that kind of added to the feel.
Very nice.
Kind of
Did you
blurred.
put a filter on that?
No, I just selectively blurred the background a little bit and just manipulated focus. Made things sharper and softer to give it that kind of pastel feel.
Great.
Okay.
A little vignette too.
Mhm.
Oh, and then they all had tags in their ears, white tags, so I got rid of all those.
Oh, really?
Oh
You
yeah.
took them all out.
Oh yeah. Let's see if I can find that one. Uh, yeah, there's the tags.
Yeah.
Big difference to get them out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and back up in petrified forests up north.
Mm.
It's good.
Yeah.
And
Great
Oh,
picture.
yeah.
that road coming out of Moab along the Colorado River, where all the rock climbers are, there's petroglyphs all over there if you stop and look. Pretty nice ones. So that varnish must have been there for a long time.
It's interesting because some of those images I see there, I see in other places.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah, they're very similar. The goat with the two horns and the people and the circle. Always a lot of times those circles,
Yeah, the
spirals.
spirals are pretty common. I've seen those all over the world. And guys like this where they're wider and then narrower.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I haven't seen this particular squiggle a lot, but yeah, definitely the spirals. Pretty neat. But yeah, this is almost like a whole anthology here.
I like the guy with the horns and the stuff's coming out of his hips there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a grass skirt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this was an artist. I thought it looked like a profile of a lion, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yes.
That was just to the right of this arch, double arch.
Yeah.
So if you're standing, look at this and turn to the right, it was there. So it was kind of fun.
I've been in that one. I'll climb myself up to a little ledge inside
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and then I try to figure out how to get back down. Wasn't
I,
easy.
I didn't go up there this time, but I have in the past. There was probably about 15 or 20 people up there. I waited and waited and finally got down to about 3 or 4. And I left this one person
Yeah.
kind of squatted down in the corner just to have a little human touch in there. But I took the rest out. There were like about 5, 6 people here and a couple sitting over here. And yeah.
Amazing.
Took me a while to discover that person, and then it lets you know that this thing is huge, this
Yeah.
arch
I
here.
left it in for scale. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that works. And this was along that drive. So the road's right here along the edge of the river.
Mm.
And they do a lot of rock climbing here, but yeah, all the petroglyphs are all along these cliffs.
Really?
Yeah. So that's just outside of Moab if you ever get up there.
Mm.
And that's all I got for
Wow.
today. Hang on, let me
Nice pictures.
thank you. Let me stop
Yeah.
sharing and
Shots, everybody.
stop recording.
Great pictures on